We have 5 to 7% women on boards in India today. We have between 10 to 12% women in the top leadership. Where does she lead? Where is she leading? Actually, I don't know. The top earners and the highest paid salaries in India still belong to almost 97% men. 11% of parliament would be Indian women. Where does she lead? So my submission to you again is that let us be clear about the words that we use. The word I want to use is that she actually does not lead right now. We want her to lead. She must lead. She should lead. And we should find out how. That's the way we need to look at it. How many of you look at yourselves as leaders? And if you look at yourself as a leader, my next question to you is, what is your leadership style? What is your leadership style? You know, when I started the Forum for Women in Leadership, I think I had about 40 women in the room in 2007, and they were all from top corporates in India and multinationals, and I asked them the same question, and I had no answer. That's because they never were asked this question. They were simply indulging the women in conversations of how we're going to get past it, or you know, what is the current state, but what is your leadership style? Is it empathetic? Is it ambitious? Is it collaborative? Is it aggressive? First, you need to define your leadership style. It's very important. Only then you can lead. Then you must nurture the leadership style. Whatever is your style, feel free to choose. Don't let anybody tell you this is your leadership style. That is called stereotyping. Stereotyping is not about what clothes you want to wear or what videos you want to see. Stereotype is about not having a leadership style that is not yours. So what is your leadership style and how are you going to nurture it? So, you know, whenever you go to any corporate in India today, you will find mostly men in black suits are sitting in the top seats. That's their leadership style. But tomorrow you're going to have, or even today, a woman who wears red nail polish, but she's a CFO of the company. That's her leadership style. And this is just a metaphor. So nurture your leadership style. And then display your leadership style. Demonstrate it. It's not about getting up and just walking away, you know, as you saw in the video. It's about demonstrating your leadership style to others. And for that, you need to understand what it is. And then after you demonstrate it, you must message your leadership style. Give it a voice. Don't say, I'm a woman, I'm a leader, because we're on a She Leads Summit. I'm a leader. And so, I will now display my leadership style. And it's very important that you do that. Otherwise, we will never get beyond the syndrome of just talking about ourselves and instead of becoming leaders. Next, you must understand that leaders must be able to influence. If you cannot influence, you're not a leader. And it's perfectly fine if you don't want to influence. Now, leadership is the same for everybody. There is conviction, there is courage, there is vision, and there is clarity of thinking. But how you manifest it is different in men and it's different in women. That is clear. How you manifest the leadership style. The leadership doesn't change, the manifestation changes. So how are you going to manifest your change? How are you going to manifest your leadership style is what I want to see today in the professional workplace. Can we please take the leadership style of women and can we please put it in the workplace? But for that, all of you have to aspire to be leaders. You cannot say we've got women in the banking sector who are leaders or women in promoter companies who are leaders. I want everybody in the room to be a leader. That's the only way we're going to change. I'm in the business of change. I want 50,000 women leaders today. Where are we going to get them? We will get them only when you stop seeing others as leaders and you look at yourself as a leader. That's when we will change. When you will say, how will I influence somebody else? Towards which direction, that is your choice. It's not my choice what direction you want to go to. It's a free country, everybody to their own. But you must be able to influence. That's called a leader. Now, the question is, who do you want to influence? You see how I'm dissecting it for the she leads? Now, okay, so you want to lead, so you will aspire, so you will influence, but who are you going to influence as a leader? You will influence your stakeholder. Whoever is your stakeholder, please influence them. Whoever has a stake in you, you know what is a stakeholder? A stakeholder is actually somebody who has an interest in you. That is why a company is called an entity. And an entity has got stakeholders. A company is an entity, and an entity does not have a life. It has a life of its own. So stakeholders are people who have an interest in you. Who is your stakeholder? Who do you want to influence? Companies will influence investors and employees. Who do you want to influence? It's your choice. But to be a leader, you must influence and you must know your stakeholder. You must study your stakeholder. And then you must finish the job of influencing them. You could be an influence person at home. Your stakeholder is your house. You could be an influencing person in the theater. You could be you want to influence people with your great dancing style. You want to influence people by your great good governance on boards, but you must know your stakeholder. So this is my direction and guidance to you on leadership, because without it, it just won't happen for you. Leadership will happen for everybody else, but for me, it's always about you. It's not about women, it's about women in leadership. Ask not what you can do for the women. All these support businesses do not work. Ask what the women can do for you. Productivity works. If you're going to be productive, everybody will support you. That's the way it goes. Productivity is fundamental to business, and we're only talking about a business environment here. And it's not about D&I, it's not about diversity and inclusivity. This whole diversity and inclusivity syndrome, I don't get. It's about DNA. Did you change your heart? Did you change your mind? And did you change your spirit? Did the company change its heart, mind, and spirit? Okay, then I know that they will move towards equal opportunity in the workplace.